students is suing the Texas A&M University System after they voted to ban drag shows on its 11 campuses. The Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression, also known as FIRE, filed a federal lawsuit yesterday. Here with more on the ban and the legal battle ahead is Jeremy Rosenthal, a founding partner with TexasDefenseFirm.com. Thanks for joining us, Jeremy.
Thank you for having me, Crystal.
FIRE attorneys call the case a free speech issue, saying the First Amendment does not allow public universities to suppress speech because someone thinks it's inappropriate. Can you first tell us what is protected under the First Amendment and what is not?
So in the abstract, the First Amendment says that the government cannot prohibit our rights to freedom of speech. No right is absolute. You're not allowed to produce material that is illegal. You're not allowed to yell fire in a movie theater. You're not allowed to threaten people. But expression, especially when it comes to artistic expression or it comes to political expression, the government has to have a really pressing interest in order to not have it or to ban it or to try to prevent it, especially if it's going to happen in the future or it's prospective. The courts apply what's called an ends means analysis. In other words, does the government's ends do the means of what the government's trying to do meet the ends of what they're trying to do? And is it like an X-Acto knife? Is it as precise as possible? And when we're dealing with political speech, the government has to come, or with expression, the government has to come with a compelling interest. And we don't like your viewpoint. We just generally don't like it. It gives us the icks. That's typically not going to cut it.
So would drag be under that umbrella that is protected, or what parts of drag performance might not be protected?
Well, you have to look at it in context, and you have to look at it in what's called the time, the manner, and the place of this this expression, if you will. At Texas A&M University, it's at a facility called the Rudder Theater and Auditorium, and that venue is a public venue. It's funded by tax dollars, so the First Amendment would absolutely apply to it. That said, when a university says, okay, you can have different things, different activities at this venue, they can't shut the valve off. So a drag show in the abstract, it depends on when, where, and how you're doing it. If you're doing it on the mayor's block at 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning, there's a lot of good arguments to shut that down, right? There's traffic, there's nuisance, there's, you're trying to provoke things, you're breaching the peace. If you're doing it at the town square, or you're doing it at a venue that is designed to house both expression and political speech, which the Rudder Theater and Auditorium do plenty of, then you have a much more difficult time shutting down really any content. And you have to, again, come and show a really compelling need to overcome what's called strict scrutiny. Again, it's a very high hurdle that the government has to meet anytime they're trying to suppress something which may be creative or something that may be content-based.
How is this lawsuit different from the one that FIRE previously filed against West Texas A&M, which banned drag performances on that campus?
Right. So West Texas A&M tried to do a similar thing. You had a group that tried to have a drag show back in 2023. The university shut it down a few weeks before. This same organization came in and it was unsuccessful in stopping it. What FIRE would tell you and what FIRE is going to point to are several differences. The first thing is that this show, which is called Draggyland, has been at Texas A&M for some time. Not only that, but they point out in their lawsuit that Texas A&M actually sponsored Draggyland for years, that it was profitable, that there were no incidents of any type of inappropriate activity. Nothing came from these things. There were no complaints. Nothing weird happened. In 2022, Texas A&M said, well, we can't sponsor this any longer with you, but we'll let you have it on our campus. And now it's gone to, we're completely shutting it down. What FIRE says in their lawsuit is they said, look, you guys are having a person coming, an activist who's going to speak against the LGBTQ community named Ben Shapiro. You had him in 2022. You've got another conservative person coming, Charlie Kirk, in 2025. You've hosted the play Chicago, which is very risque, on the same stage. You had Beto O'Rourke here giving political speech. You can't just pick and choose the expression that you like once you turn that faucet on. And to go a little further, what I think FIRE essentially argues here is, look, when you're on a college campus, you have some degree of control of what people can do on your campus. But once you once you turn the hose on, you can't turn it off. You can't say you can protest as long as you are pro-Israeli and not pro-Palestinian. You can't say you can protest here so long as you are for Black Lives Matter and not for Make America Great Again. You can't do those things. And that is what this FIRE organization is saying is, look, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. This program has been successful before. All of these fears that you have, Texas A&M, were never founded with this particular program. And you're just shutting us down because you don't like the viewpoint. And that's your First Amendment debate.
Okay, Jeremy Rosenthal with TexasDefenseFirm.com. Thank you so much for breaking it down for us.
Thank you. Have a great day.